I've released my game In Cave Runner on both Steam and the Play Store. Not on the App Store, we'll get to that later. The game is a roguelite endless runner, and the two versions are pretty different. The Steam version has more content, meta progression, different game modes, more items, some nice extra features, whereas the mobile game is a lot simpler and more arcadey. This is because both games apply completely different monetization methods. The Steam game costs a mere $4, but the mobile game is free to play. There are also no in-app purchases. Originally I wanted those to exist, but some Play Store policy makes it so that if you sell a product there, your company's address will be displayed on the store page. My company's address is my bedroom. And I had to consider, am I really going to dox myself blatantly for the maybe $50 this $3 dual-wielded skin will get me? No. The way the mobile version of my game makes money is through ads. Only optional ads. I don't ever want to force an ad on you. Well, except for YouTube videos, but you're probably using ad blocker for that, you little rascal.
Yeah, you got me, you got me.
Yeah, I figured. How do you be one of those? Yeah. So yeah, the only ads in my game are optional, and you can choose to watch them to earn yourself a reward. Every single run, you could watch 6 ads, or 0. There's an ad to skip the first 750 meters, getting into the action faster. An ad to re-roll the items when you didn't get what you were looking for. You can use this one a total of 3 times per run. There's an ad that allows you to revive yourself when you sadly pass, but also, at least when you die, you can double the caps you picked up during the run by watching another ad. I'm using Unity's own ad system, which meant that Google pays Unity, and Unity pays me, so as far as I'm aware, that means Google already takes off a 30% cut beforehand. So yeah, the total amount of money that I made in 2.5 years with well over 5,000 downloads, $71.51. Yeah, it's not that much. Now you're probably wondering, why not have forced ads play as well? Every single other mobile game does it. Sure, it's annoying, but it's pretty accepted that it's just the way things are. Well, the reason for that is, I have a couple of friends that have also released games on mobile. And from their experience, out of the money they have made from ads, around 80% came from optional ads. Only 20% were the forced ones. A couple of big reasons for this. First of all, you can get past forced ads by turning your internet off, but you can't really do that with optional ads, obviously. Even if my game had forced ads, you could just play with internet turned off until a rewarded ad opportunity pops up you're willing to take. You turn on your internet, watch the ad, and then turn it off again. This is such a common practice for mobile gamers that I'm sure a good amount of people did it for In Cave Runner as well, not realizing there were never even forced ads to begin with. So, that's just an L on you right there. Also, a forced ad is generally shorter, or can be skipped, whereas an optional ad is always one of those 30-second ads you can't click away until it's done. Showing off their product for 30 seconds instead of 5 seconds is worth more for a company, so they'll pay more money for it. Generally, this amount is calculated per 1,000 times an ad is shown, and it's commonly known as CPM. So yeah, CPM obviously higher for optional ads compared to forced ads. Now, in a good amount of cases, players, even if they don't turn off their internet, still see more optional ads than forced ads. If the rewards for them are very good, you might click 2 or 3 optional ads before the forced ones get a chance to pop up again. So really, considering all that, it's no wonder that the gap between the two is this big. And so if we assume that in my case the ad income split would have been exactly 80-20, the extra income would have been $17.88. Nothing to write home about. Sure, if the game's popularity had grown tremendously, who knows what might have happened, you know? It's just that in my eyes, it wasn't really worth it on this smaller scale. Now, before we get to the Steam revenue, why did I not drop the game on iOS too? That could have maybe doubled the income as well, right? Well, not really. You see, it's not free to get yourself a page on these stores. On the Play Store, you have to pay $25 to become a registered developer, allowing you to publish apps. You pay for the developer account, not the game, by the way, meaning that you can publish more apps for no additional costs whatsoever. On the App Store, this fee is $99, quite a bit more, but you also have to pay this yearly. That's a bit of a difference. For this developer program, you also need to have a registered website that's connected to your company, however. There's also less people worldwide that use an iOS mobile device compared to an Android, so if we take all that into account, this isn't a great business move. In reality, it probably wouldn't be this bad. There's less competition on the App Store, and even though the worldwide percentage of iOS users is smaller than Android users, I expect the average iOS user to be closer to my target audience than the average Android user is. But all in all, I chose not to go through the trouble of publishing it there. Little update, by the way. So since editing a chunk of this video, Google has actually updated their policy. The little deal with them doxing you if you sell anything on their platform, well, that if is gone. You now have to show it regardless. To help users learn more about you. That's okay. So I said, no, I don't really want to do that. And so they removed In-Cave Runner from the Play Store. This project I spent so much work on cannot be downloaded anymore because I didn't agree with them going,
show them where you live.
Whoa, what do we call
right
now? So yeah, if you have the game on your phone already, cherish it. Once you delete it, it's gone forever. It's like having a phone with Flappy Bird still on it. I despise Google for this move, but at least all hope's not lost. We still have Steam. The Steam version of my game has been out for 6 months now, and on there it costs a small $4. This allows for a completely different approach in an overarching gameplay loop, as I now don't need to try and make people watch ads. At the end of the day, some pretty important design decisions for a free-to-play mobile game simply are made with the idea of how do I make sure the player still makes me money even though they can play the game for free. Everything you can buy with the in-game currency and Jetpack Joyride is just a bit more expensive than it really should be. It's not because the devs found that to be the best, most satisfying economy system for the game, it's so that players will watch an ad to double their coins after every run. Plants vs. Zombies 2 is notoriously hard, which was obviously done to tempt the player into buying the clearly way more powerful plants and using the power-ups that cost money to use. This genuinely hurts the game tremendously just because it's free to play. Making a premium game, a game you need to pay for to be able to play it, completely removes this thought. The player has already paid for the product. Now all you need to do is make it as enjoyable as possible for them, unless you're EA or Ubisoft. The Steam version really is the premium version, the ideal way to play, with actual meta progression and a way to sort of beat the game. It's got a gameplay loop much more aligned with what you would expect from a premium game. So with that business talk out of the way, let's check out the numbers. When I released the game, I had above 900 wishlists. The only marketing I had done on it prior were some community posts on my channel. Obviously my community on Twitch knew about it, as I streamed most of me making the game there. My main marketing strategy was to release the game with the 51-minute long devlog going over the entire project from start to finish. This thing is my magnum opus and I will never work longer on a single video, but it did pretty dang well. At least for my channel's standards, for sure. On day 1, the video was seen almost 10,000 times already, which is insane to me. The amount of wishlists wasn't great, and you generally want quite a bit more than that. Once again, I was aiming for the video to be enough of a call to action for people to be aware that the game existed and came out. Over the past half a year, the game was sold a total of 670 times. That's quite a few of them. Here's the line of sales, and as you can tell, I'm still selling like around 3 copies a week. There are some spikes here. This one was because the game was 25% off during the autumn sale, and the other is aligned with Black from Prod videos coming out with me in them. From there, a couple of people would check out my channel and check out this beast and possibly get the game from that. There were a total of 43 refunds, and whenever you refund, you can provide a reason and can even elaborate further. There were definitely some good points made that I'll make sure to improve on in my future projects, but half of them were also from people who just, weren't very good at the game within the first 10 minutes, calling it impossible. To that, I raise you these leaderboards, or this speed run of completing the entire thing 100% and getting all the achievements in less than an hour.
That's gold medal. That's GG.
I mean, I'm not calling you a weakling or anything, but, come on. Hey, Gimbo, if you're gonna be in the video in the background the entire time, by the way, can I ask you for a favor at least? Because they haven't liked the video yet, so can you do your breakdance again to convince them to leave a like? It worked really well last time.
Well, no, I'm not dancing for likes again. That felt pretty degenerating last time. You could do that yourself.
Alright, well, if you insist.
Oh my god, he's actually really good.
Now, with all of this in mind, the total amount made from the Steam game in 6 months, minus refunds and taxes, minus a 30% cut that Steam takes, and this right here, this is what the game made on Steam. It's really cool, but at the end of the day, it's not enough to live off of. Luckily, I don't have to live off of this, as the game, or games, aren't the whole product on their own. It's also the In-Cave Runner devlogs, those may be some money as well. It's the streams I've done on the updates for the game. There are multiple ways I've made money off of this game, and I would like to see that entire thing as one product, one project, as you would say. There are a total of 6 videos on my channel about the 2 games. 7 now, if we're counting this one too. The first 5 made around 70 euros each. The latest one was significantly longer though, meaning it played some more ads and has already made 270 on its own. Don't forget that it's also a sponsored video, my first ever. I won't give the exact number for that, but it's between like $1 and $27 million, so you'll have an idea of how much it is. Over on Twitch, I've had some growth in income as well. Generally, I earn about like $60 a month over there. There are sometimes some spikes. I've been streaming for 2 years now. I've actually already started working on my next project and stream development for that 3 days a week, so feel free free to come and say hi there. It's a fishing game where you can go on a date with the fish that you catch, and well. Anyways, I can check the Twitch total revenue right here, so there we go, that's it. Now this is still taxed and stuff, so there you have it. That's all the money I actually made from this game. I've worked on it for 3 years, including everything. The game, streams, the videos. So if we act like I have the average amount of work hours in a year, we can calculate my hourly income from this entire project. It's not a lot. Minimum wage over here in the Netherlands is... So,
I also have a side hustle.
What, you want to add to this number?
Yeah, I do drop shipping.
You drop ship?
I've been doing it for almost 12 years now.
What? You've literally never said that. You've never talked about it. I have not known that for 12 years.
You never asked. Well, I mainly sell pens and staplers and other office-related stuff. The office stuff does really well on the market right now.
Well, how much have you made from that then?
Well, nothing yet, but,
Nothing.
Yeah, 0.